So yes, there have been patents on really innovative things like the light bulb, but most of the patents, when you look at it, are issued because you've improved upon the technology slightly. So if yours does something better or distinctively different or uses a different approach, even though this is a light bulb and it has a patent on it, because we all know that Edison has the patent on the light bulb, but if you go and you search light bulbs, you'll find out lots of people have lots of light bulb ideas, right? So for the longest time, we all grew up thinking that a light bulb had to look like a bulb, right? Well, guess what people have in their homes now? Those little whirly ones, right? Okay, so, and they have LED lights and all kinds of lights. So when people say, gee, why invent something different? The light bulb has already been patented. Well, no, patent is issued on a particular specification, exactly how you describe your technology or your invention. Now, somebody can come along and describe it slightly different or design it slightly different and still get a patent. So we call that evolution in the design, okay? And why does the US government allow that? Why don't they just allow one person to have a patent on a light bulb? Because they want to see progress in new ideas and see how things are done better, okay? That's why they issue the patent. So just because somebody has got something very much along the same lines as yours doesn't mean that you can't get a patent. What it does tell you is how you have to write yours differently or design yours differently so that you can get a patent because you've made a good case for how your technology or idea advances the general knowledge or advances the general use of something, right? So that's what patents are about. It's about advancements. So when you read through and looking at patents in the patent database, you'll see, all of these, there's like millions of them and they all sound alike. Well, yes, but the patent examiner, the person who's challenging your idea to see whether it's worthy of a patent, is looking for advances in the technology. Slight distinctions, okay? And things that you think might be patented because they're commonplace may not be patented at all because they weren't patentable. So there's a lot of things out there that are inventions, innovations, but they're not necessarily patentable, okay? So there's like, I think general categories for what makes something patentable. So it has to be unique. It has to have an actual use or purpose. And I have those all listed on my website that will talk to you about whether something is patentable or not. So there's criteria. And then you have to build a case for it. So for a long time, what we had in this country is you had to file for a full patent. Well, the patents became very expensive and very long, and going back and forth with the patent examiner. And so it would take you like 6 years to get a patent, and it's like $40,000. And then back in 1993, the US Patent Office decided that they would come up with what's called a provisional patent. And provisional patents are not a full patent. They're a short form of the patent. And they're very inexpensive and very easy to do. And the reason why the Patent Office did that is because it was taking so long to get patents issued. This would give you protection in the interim time. And also it was so expensive that a lot of good inventions weren't being patented because they didn't have the financial resources to do it. So individual inventors were having a hard time getting patents because they couldn't afford the process. So the provisional patent is a short form of a patent, and it only lasts for 1 year. So at the conclusion of 1 year, you have to make a decision as whether you're going to take your short form of your patent, the provisional, and you're going to convert it into a full patent. So let me give you some parameters here. A full patent will generally cost you around $40,000 to, let's say, $120,000, right? And they're big, thick documents like this, and you go to a law firm, right? A provisional, if you file as an individual, and as students, that's what you're going to want to do, generally runs you around $125. And you can actually download the provisional form off the U.S. Patent Office website and fill it out. And what it is generally a description of what your idea is. The difference is you don't have to make all those claims that say my idea is different than this one and cite those other patents. They're not asking you to do that. They just want a general description. So what it does is it gives you a quick way of protecting your idea while you raise the money to go get an attorney and do a full patent, or decide to write a patent application yourself and go through the whole process. So it gives you some limited protection for 1 year. So there's no claims in it, so you don't have to do all the claim work. A drawing is sort of optional. It depends. If you need to include a drawing, fine. If you don't need a drawing, that's okay. So they're pretty easy to get, and that's your first step. With a provisional patent filing, generally takes them, depends on whether you do it online or you send it in the mail, but it generally takes you, let's say, 3 to 6 weeks to get one. So you can get that. And it's a timestamp that says, you, John Q. Public, had this idea on this date and filed it with the U.S. Patent Office. It's not a full patent. It doesn't make any claims, but it gives you credit for that idea. That is good protection when you want to go talk to people about your idea. So it's covered with a provisional, okay? So this is a fast and inexpensive way to protect yourself at some minimum level so you can go out and talk to investors or go out and talk to people who might be interested in funding your company or being on the management team. And it's also a good way, for example, to protect your idea before you go out to a conference or before you post it on your website or on your Facebook or you Twitter the idea. So it's, okay, so excuse me, you can take the camera and shut it off. It's